you.
Say it louder. Say it louder.
Life is bitchy, like a little like you.
Lovely.
Yes.
That's nice.
What you need to do is keep the pork away from your mouth. Gain some, lose some weight. Yeah, you're a little bit fat.
Oh, really?
And I really
Anything else?
Hey, boo, hey, welcome to or welcome back. Well, you've seen it for yourself. These neighbors are going at it. Homegirl feel like he's a big perv, and he feel like she got him messed up.
And you have been perverting on us for the past 15 years?
How?
How is that?
Tell me how!
Excuse me?
Right now!
You're
Tell
raising
me
your voice
now.
to me? Really?
You lying piece of shit!
You're a
No!
You're a creep.
I want proof.
Creepy.
If you have any
You're
proof,
a creepy
you tell me now.
You're a creepy.
You're a lying piece of shit!
And you're a creepy.
Go fuck yourself!
Oh, really?
Go fuck yourself!
Aw.
You lying little cunt! You're a disgusting, evil little piece of shit.
She got him riled up, boy. He looked like he want to put paws on her.
Your daughter's calling me a perv. I'm not.
Are you?
I am not a perv.
Okay. If you are not,
I am a Christian person.
yes.
I am a moral.
Not saying all that stuff you just said to her. That's not how Christians talk, sir.
person. I've given my life to Christ.
It said the moral Christian in question banging my fence every 20 minutes to intimidate me. Child, see, I'm so glad I ain't got no neighbor wars. These neighbor wars are serious. There's a show about it. Neighbor wars, it literally can end up deadly a lot of times.
Did you bang the
I
fence?
just did.
Why?
Throwing on our property and confronting me while going for a walk with my dog wearing a pow pow. Child. Apparently the man was leaving a bunch of threatening messages. Y'all gonna have to pause to read the notes and all the stuff, and this is some mess.
Go fuck yourself.
Oh, really?
Go fuck yourself.
Aw.
You lying little cunt. You're a disgusting, evil little piece of shit.
So this whole story started when we moved into this house. I was 14, my sister was 20, my mother was just separated from our father, and we had just moved into the country maybe 2 years ago from Athens, Greece. I say this because I want you guys to understand the limited amount of knowledge that you have when you're 14. Being that we came from a different country, our culture is so friendly, is so hospitable, is so open to other people that we never quite understand quickly how much of a weirdo someone else can be. It's not something that we expect in our reality, and yet it's something that we have to deal with, because the truth is a lot of men especially are very perverted and twisted. So anyways, we moved next to him. He was already living here. He portrayed himself to be a good neighbor, tried to offer help if we needed it. But honestly, now that I look back at it, it was more a way for him to interject himself into our bubble and our lives, create some kind of rapport, right? But really, he was just coming into our home and looking at the layout, just scoping things out, and just getting closer to us, wise neighbor relations. That was all fine and dandy until he picked it up a notch. At this point, every time that we are coming outside at the garage, he's there. When we go in the backyard, there. We had a metal fence, and we never really thought much of it, because again, why would you be a weirdo? But every time that we'd be outside, he'd come and clean his pool. It came to the point where it's like, okay, one time is a coincidence, right? 2 times, coincidence, right? 3 times, pattern. And when you can feel someone looking at you, it always felt that way when we were out there. It was always what he was doing, just looking at us while cleaning the pool with his tool. Then he got a puppy. And then he found the excuse that, oh my god, puppies are cute. Don't you want to play with this puppy? Here, come play with this puppy. And he'd come into our backyard pretending like, oh my god, the puppy wants to play with you guys because you're so friendly. A 50-year-old man going around children. Anyways, my sister likes to tan. My sister would go outside and lay in the sun every once in a while. Every time that she'd be out, he'd be out. In a flash. Doing what? Cleaning the pool. So then my sister got one of these massive umbrellas and laid it down flat, right? So he just couldn't see into her immediate direction. And then he started bringing the dog. Every time she'd do that, he'd start bringing the dog into our yard and be like, can she come play with your dog? Because we had a dog too. Can she come play with your dog? Wouldn't even wait for a response, would open the gate and bring the dog in. And my sister would be like, okay, they can play. She'd come inside. And we're like, what is going on? This is so weird. He's not catching a hint. We have to put privacy, right? We put some ivy for privacy. At which point, again, he wouldn't get it. He started coming towards the end of our fence where we didn't have any privacy. He'd be playing with his dog. By the way, he doesn't even walk ever. And every time he'd hear us or see us, he'd come out towards the end of a fence and play with his dog there. Okay. Now we're like,
what y'all think so far? Y'all think that this is a creepy, perv, old man? Or is he just lonely and wants some human interaction? I think he's a perv. Ain't that much human interaction. You going out of your way to be in these people's space. So, nah. There's boundaries in every situation. I believe in being friendly neighbors. But I believe in boundaries. Very much so. You don't ask me a question and don't let me give you a response before you walking your dog into my gate. Boy, if you don't leave these young women alone.
We're like, this is crazy. We're gonna have to put up a fence. We look at fences. They're like $15,000. We're like, no. We decided to put bushes that would grow tall enough to where he wouldn't be able to look into our yard. Well, we had to wait until the bushes got to that length. And then when the bushes got to that length enough, we started coming out into the yard more, right? At that point, I noticed that every time I would come outside to dance and flow, he would be standing by the bushes. And every day, it felt like the bushes were getting more visible.
Well, first of all, what does dance and flow mean? What the hell that mean? Like, you just be outside, like partying with yourself? Because dance and flow, if she would say, I've been dancing and flowing in the house, I don't know, it just make more sense. People be flowing, cleaning up, doing whatever they do. You dancing and flowing outside? What does that mean? And with them bushes becoming more visible, let me find out. He snipping. Every chance he get. Let me the hell find out. You freaking perv.
More visible to see through. So now I was wondering, like, is he tampering with these bushes? Maybe when he knows that we're not home, he's like shaking them, grabbing, like tearing leaves off. I don't know, but it was definitely suspicious that he would just stand there and like watch through the bushes. Then we put boards behind the bushes. And then he got even more pissed that we literally took everything away from him. He could not have even a peek.
Why do y'all have to go through all this? How does he not get the hint? Well, no, he gets the hint. How does he not care after that? Like, bruh, you gotta let it go at some point. Let these women live in the privacy that they are begging of you. This is the type of people that belong in jail, okay? They ain't got caught doing what they be doing yet, but he belong in jail.
So now he started what I call his very passive-aggressive way or of being angry at us removing access to our backyard. And every Saturday, Sunday, 8 o'clock, start with noise. Every time he'd hear me be outside with my dog, he would turn on the lawnmower by the fence. Everything would happen by our fence. No, never on the other side. And
that is petty as hell.
And he'd leave it running, or he'd go over the lawn like 30 times. The lawn was bald by the time he was done, simply to get on my nerves and become annoying. But what can I do about that? That's his right. He can do that if he wants to. But what really broke the camel's back after all these years is that I had left my sister's curtain open. One day, I'm in the backyard, and I notice him standing right in front of that window. But when he hears me near the corner, he disperses. Something comes over me. Call it divine intervention. Call it a channeled message from Jesus himself. And I made a poster through my artistic expression as an artist and a human being, saying perverts should be dead. And I put it into that window that he was looking into. Now, everything was fine until last Sunday. I'm watering my bushes, and I guess he's cutting the hedges on his side. And there comes a moment where we're facing each other. I'm watering my bush, and he yells to me across the fence, "Are you spraying me on purpose?" To which I wanted nothing to do with him in that moment. I wanted no interaction with him. I walked away. And I went to spray my aloe vera on the other side.
See, he's been craving her attention. He couldn't wait to have an opportunity or a reason to say something to her. See, these are the type of neighbors you can't be friendly with. These the type of people that you gotta watch out for. It is a whole show out here on HBO talking about neighbors that be at war with each other. And yes, it be ending in sometimes. Whew. Child. Watch out for your neighbors. Watch out for your neighbors. And be careful about what you're doing in front of your windows, because you literally never know who's watching.
I walked away. And I went to spray my aloe vera on the other side of my property. He comes after me. And this is the part where he can see through the fence to confront me. And he says, "Is that poster for me?" And I said, "Why don't you shut the fuck up and mind your own business? I don't want to talk to you." And he says, "If you took care of your bushes, I wouldn't have to cut them." And I said, "If you weren't a pervert, we wouldn't need to have bushes." At which point he looks at me and says, "You're a messed up little girl." I said, "You're a pervert." To which he said, I didn't realize because we were in this commotion, I still had the hose going. He said, "If you don't put that hose down, I'm going to shove it down your throat." And I said, "Try it. Try it. I dare you. Triple dog dare you." And he saw that I wasn't intimidated, and he backed away. So we have this confrontation. We go back to our homes. He continues to cut the hedges. I come back in my house. I call my mom. I tell her about it. She's like, "Oh my God, he threatened to shove the hose down your throat." And I'm like, the bird made sexually suggestive threats. What a surprise. She's like, "That's crazy." I'm like, "I know. I'm calling the police because I need to have some kind of documentation that he made that threat towards me," because I could tell the moment he called me a cunt, like the way that he said it, like watch the video, exactly the same way, right? I was like, okay, this person hates women. He absolutely hates women. I felt it, right? I'm like, okay, this is just the beginning. So I got a call for service number and I went about my merry way. The next day, I am with my dog and I let her out and she starts barking towards the fence, but not where it's conjointed with his, but like at the end. I let her bark because I felt like there was somebody back there. She's barking for like a minute, and then I hear someone yell, not yell, but say loudly, "Ma'am." I'm like, "Mrs. Stop." And now I'm listening, right? And that's when I hear him start banging my boards for the first time. Grabbing the boards because they're individual ones and banging it he did it once. I went inside to grab my phone, came out, was able to record it the second time that he did it. So that was the first day that he started doing that. I was like, okay.
Do y'all realize this is all happening simply because she took away his freedom of viewing them whenever he felt like it? Don't you have neighbors on the other side of you? Why are you so stuck on these 3 women? If I'm correct, it's the mom and 2 daughters. Why are you so stuck on this home? Find you some business.
He's throwing a tantrum of sorts. All right, I got it on recording. Let him keep going. No biggie, right? I knew he was trying to intimidate me. I knew that it had bothered him that I had confronted him that way, and I spoke up about myself. No fucks given. So then he keeps going. He starts blasting aggressive metal music. He's playing the same song on repeat until 4:30. At 10:30, he brings it down a little bit, but it's still like I could still hear it in my room, and I knew it was him trying to intimidate me again, even through the noise. So I tell my mom, is like, okay, whatever, leave him, he can't do shit. Then we go to sleep. 4:30, he stops the music. Okay. The next morning, I walk my mother to her car, and I notice that he has left a letter on her car. I open it, and it's about what happened between me and him on Sunday. And he says, "I'm writing this with the hope that you can act as an intermediary and a calming influence on your daughter. This past Sunday, without provocation, I was verbally harassed and physically assaulted by your daughter. Additionally, she has placed threatening posters with vulgar epithets in the west-facing window, clearly meant to be visible, a threat, and an act of intimidation solely intended for me. Her threat of death is alarming. I have real concerns about my safety." When I read this, I felt like it was for the best for the both of us to call the police and have them take a look at my posters. If he claims that this is a threat of death, then I needed to verify this with the police. I called the police and I told them about the situation. I have someone come and talk to us. I didn't call as 911, it was a non-emergency number. And it was the same man that I spoke to on Sunday. So he knows the situation already. And I tell him, can you please go talk to him, because he has been banging and he has been blasting music till 4:30, and this is really weird. I'm perplexed by this situation. He says, okay, I'll go take a look and I'll go speak to him. He goes and speaks to him. My neighbor takes him to go take a look at the poster. He says the poster is completely fine inside her house. It's a general statement. It's not directed towards you. Even if you take her to court, because he threatens that he will take me to I'm at risk of civil lawsuits, slander and libel, and criminal with enhanced penalties for use of a senior citizen, right? The officer tells him it's completely fine to leave the posters up. Even if he takes me to court, he can't. It's my right. And if she wants to, she can take them down. But if she doesn't, I don't have to. Okay. So now, The cop comes and tells me what he said. If I verify with him twice, I say, do I have to take the poster down? He says no. I say, okay. Thank you, sir. Have a great day. 10 minutes later, I'm on the phone with my mother. This man starts screaming. I wasn't able to get it on video because I was on the phone with my mom. But he said, and I quote, if you want to escalate things, this will escalate it. This will end when you take the posters down. You're a fucking idiot, you fucking cunt. Continuing, cunty. Okay.
What do the other neighbors think of this? If he's shouting and screaming and banging and doing all this, this has to be drawing some type of attention from the others, right? Or, God. Because when I tell you I'm a nosy neighbor, when I be hearing people arguing and stuff, I be ear hustling a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. I'll start walking my dog a little bit slower. Because I'm nosy. So, girl, where the other neighbors at?
Okay. So, this whole letter, which I knew, wasn't about having a mediator. Because if you need a mediator, let's bring a mediator that knows the law, right? This letter was about control. It was about getting my mother to shut me up, not put him in an uncomfortable situation. In the uncomfortable situation that he has been putting us through the past 15 years. My sister having to get up from being in the sun because he's a pervert. Not being able to go into our front yard because he's a pervert. Him looking into the window.
That is a long time living next to someone you hate. Child, that is a very long time to live next to somebody you can't stand. Oh my goodness.
Peering through the bushes. He's a pervert. Then, I know he's throwing a tantrum again. I'm like, here we go. He starts playing the exact same music that he was playing the day before on repeat. And banging the fence. And doing this. Raising his voice. And just creating a lot of aggression. Which I didn't understand because if my posters are legal, why are you upset? Just don't look at them. Put up a fence if you need to. Do something as we did. But no. His demons are now triggered because why did the police side with a woman? Why did the police side with me, guys? How? So now I'm just documenting him banging against my boards, being psycho. I'm like, yeah, buddy, you're having a tantrum. Okay. And I just stay in my house and mind my own business, right? Until it's 5 o'clock, I have to take my dog to the park. I come outside recording with a knife in my pocket, you know, being prepared, knowing that he's a fucking psycho. And I find a bunch of wood scattered in my driveway with a note, and he comes outside of his garage with the blaring music and confronts me. You saw the videos, he goes ballistic on me. He tells me, you don't even know how to discuss things. And I'm like, okay, let's discuss it. You
can't even discuss.
Discuss what?
No.
Discuss what? That you're a pervert and a creep and you have been perverting on us for the past 15 years?
How?
How is
Tell
that?
me how!
Excuse me?
Right now!
You're
Tell
raising
me
your voice
now.
to me? Really?
You lying piece of shit!
You're a pervert.
No!
You're a creep.
I want proof.
Creepy.
If you have any
You're a
proof,
creepy
you tell me
pervert.
now.
You're a creepy
You're a lying piece
pervert.
of shit!
And you're a creepy pervert.
Go fuck yourself!
Oh, really?
Go fuck yourself!
Aw.
You lying little You're a disgusting, evil little piece of shit.
Cry about it.
Good.
Cry about it.
I'm not
Go cry
crying
about it to your dead mama and dad.
But you're a fucking idiot!
Go cry about it. Go cry about it. I'm gonna share this post to everyone here.
Share
I'm
it.
gonna share it to everybody.
Share it.
Yes, I'm gonna
And I'm
send
gonna
it to
tell you
everyone.
how you're spying on me
How am I spying on you?
I'm cutting the head.
How am I spying on you? You think a child wants to spy on a grandpa? You're deluded. You're deluded. You're deluded. You're deluded. You're insane. You're mentally challenged. Look at you strapped.
Yes.
You're scared of a child?
No.
You good?
Not whatsoever.
Do I need to call the police for a wellness check? Are you okay?
Huh?
Are you mentally sane?
No.
Clearly, based on your music, you're not. Clearly not.
Did you get all that?
Yeah, I did.
Good.
6 minutes worth.
Good.
He goes crazy. He couldn't even discuss that. Why not? Maybe because you're guilty? Is that why you wanted proof? Because you know you're guilty? And you're wondering if I have proof on you? Yeah. So after a confrontation, I go to the park, I walk my dog, and I come back. Funnily enough, I wasn't going to call the police, which I should have, again, until I saw 2 letters that he left on my driveway saying, "I'm done being a good neighbor. This is just the beginning. Buckle up." At which point, I do call the police because this is a mentally unstable person. I had the suspicion that he was drinking. He came outside with a gun. He was still blaring the music. It was just a very strange situation. So I called the police again. I told them everything that happened. I told them that the first officer came and looked at the poster. He said the posters were fine. I don't understand what triggered him so hard. And they're like, because I showed them the videos, right? They're like, well, you're still entertaining the conversation, so you must not be as threatened as you say. You must not feel as threatened as you say. And I'm like, no, but this is clearly a mentally unstable person. I am showing you proof of him banging my boards, screaming across the fence, threats that are directed towards me. You want to escalate things? I'll escalate things. Which, by the way, I was trying to de-escalate because I had the police come and look at my artwork. If my artwork was at wrong, then I would have taken my artwork down. But it's not. So they said, okay, he said, she said situation. He says one thing, he says you assaulted him. If I assaulted him, why didn't he call the police on me? If I did the damage that he's saying that I did, why doesn't he show the footage that he has of me leaving and trying to deflect the confrontation, trying not to get into it? So they don't do anything about it. They told me I need to file an injunction. Fine. I go home. As soon as I get home, I'm on the phone with my sister and my mother. He starts banging again. And honestly, I think he even shot a few shots of his gun. And I'm like, my God, he's losing it. Even if the police talked to him again for a second time, they looked at my posters for a second time, told him there's nothing that they can do about it. And he's going crazy. He's going absolutely berserk. He's yelling, he's banging. He thinks that I'm home alone. He's doing all this, right? So at some point, my mother is in between jobs. She comes home to check up on me because obviously this is a very stressful situation. She hears him banging. So she's like, should I go talk to him? And I'm like, here's my phone, record it. She goes outside. He had just finished banging, where she basically corners him and says, what is the problem? He says, your daughter. She says, are you banging the fence? He's like, yes. She's like, why? He's like, well, I'm not going to tolerate this. She's like, what are you not tolerating? The fact that we had to put bushes and boards up for our privacy? And he's like, your daughter is calling me a pervert. She says, are you? He's like, no, I'm not. She's like, then why are you so bothered? He's like, I am a man of God. I have dedicated my life to Christ. I am a man of morals. That's why he was screaming at me that way in front of the entire neighborhood, having no issue terrorizing an entire neighborhood, walking out with a gun strapped to his chest, and having no problem being chaotic as fuck when the neighbors next to him have kids. But he had no issue displaying this kind of behavior. So my mom is like, what is wrong with you? Basically, he's like, well, I'm not going to tolerate this. I am a man of God, and she can't call me a pervert, and I want those posters down. I'm a hardworking man, yada yada. She's like, my mom says, fine, I'll make a deal with you, which is what he wanted in the first place, right? He wanted me to be silenced. He did not want to keep seeing his reflection in my sister's window over and over again, because he knows that he's a peeping Tom. He knows that he's so used to getting this exhilarated sense of aversion from looking into my sister's window. But now that his reflection is on it, he can't stand it, can he? So my mother takes the posters down. If it was up to me, I would have never taken them down. He could have kept banging till the end of time. I don't care. You felt so comfortable for 15 years to put us through this. And I feel comfortable to call you out personally. I didn't post this on the internet before he went crazy. I didn't call him a pervert to the neighbors or try to vilify his reputation. I put an artistic expression of my belief, okay, that perverts should be dead on that window. Now, if you're looking through that window, why are you? Look away. Look away. But he couldn't, because his demon was triggered. So, after that conversation, after my mother took the posters down, he's been quiet. He hasn't been banging anymore, hasn't done anything, which I support. Because the second he does one more thing towards me and my family, I have proof of him admitting. By the way, the police said, even if we ask him if he's banging the boards and your fence, he won't admit it. And I'm like, how do you know? They're like, playing devil's advocate. He won't admit it because he can technically say that he's banging something on his side of the fence. I'm like, but it's directed towards me. And they're like, we can't prove that. My mom got him to admit that within 5 seconds. So this entire situation was never about ruining his reputation as slander and libel. It's about him knowing what he's been doing, not being okay with the fact that we have finally opened our eyes to the truth, that we finally see him for who he is truly. If you're watching this, let this be your sign. There is nobody on this green earth that can intimidate you. There is nobody on this planet that can make you doubt your intuition, what you're experiencing. The situation has been stressful, to say the least. It was 15 years in the making. There were many people involved. But in the end, I feel proud of myself that I took the lead. I stood up for myself. I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to confront him. I thought maybe putting the poster up would just get him to understand that I don't want him interacting with us. But he's a deeply twisted individual that honestly just wanted to talk to us. But he couldn't handle the discussion at hand. That's why he kept saying, you can even have a discussion. I'm having it right now. And you had a mental breakdown right in front of me. Congrats.
She's absolutely right. That man couldn't stand looking at his own reflection. And he knew that that poster was for him. If you wasn't the that you are, it wouldn't have bothered you as much. Y'all just gotta respect each other's boundaries. If these women didn't want to be stared at and looked at on the daily, you shouldn't have did it. And y'all gotta, I ain't trying to like be judgmental when I say this, but I gotta say it. When a person is at that age and they still living alone, what did he say? He was a senior citizen. When you done hit senior citizen age and you still single, it's probably because you're a hard person to live with. You're a hard person to deal with. You're a hard person to communicate with. Like, you single senior citizens, y'all low-key meaner than the non-single ones. Let's just keep it real. And that's just my opinion. They did everything correctly by involving the police, not going over there thinking they tough, not sending family members over there to check him. They did the right thing. They involved the police in darn near every aspect of the situation. And overall, they won. They won. And sometimes you gotta suck it up, Buttercup, and give people their damn privacy. You got neighbors on both sides of you, but you stalking the household with 3 women. If that don't say enough, I don't know what the hell will. And that's what I got on it. Like the video, subscribe. I love you, and I hope to catch you in the next one, boo.